And good Saturday morning. Yes, I'm a wimp, and this short sleeve shirt was a bad decision as I sit here now in the studio, and I'm cold. There's no other way to word it. Good morning to you. Downright cold right now. 24. We have warmed up to a wind chill of 15. Now, I got reports earlier in parts north of here of 14 on a regular thermometer. I think the lowest I saw in the Meridian area was about 22 earlier. I've been in the studio for quite some time this morning going through all that has gone overnight. There's several things that we'll discuss. One of the hot buttons that we'll get to in just a moment, Collinsville, Mississippi. It is the most talked about thing without a shadow of a doubt right now. There's a business that has gone or opened that probably most people don't approve of. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? We'll visit the Facebook page and let you see what it says. We'll do that here in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. Also, we'll tell you about an overnight wreck where somebody's life was claimed in our area. We'll talk about all that. That's coming up this morning. So as we begin it right now, as I said, it's cold, and we'll go to radar in a moment. And, well, let's go ahead and look at radar as we look at this. As we pull up radar right now, let's take a look around. Look at all of that. Down here on the Gulf Coast, what is this blue? This is a hard freeze warning that went into effect and will remain into effect this morning until 9. A few minutes left on that. Cold, cold, cold. Let's turn on temperatures here, current conditions, and just see what we've got showing up in and around the area. As we look at Keyfield, 24, we go to NAS Meridian at 23 degrees, and that is absolutely incorrect as we look at Stark Vegas. 19 at Columbus Air Force Base, and across the Mississippi Delta, 23 is what we're showing. 21 further up, and as you get to Memphis, around 19 degrees this morning. So nonetheless, that's not even calculating in what's going on with the wind chills this morning. So bad cold as we glance across the area this morning. Check out your thermometer, see how it's showing there. Miss Gail says 24, Porterville, Mississippi right there. Joyce Godwin says 14 in Murfreesboro, Tennessee this morning in her area. So let us know what it is where you're watching from this morning. A couple of things that we want to bring up. Always remember this. When you get mad, and I've always heard this, and I think most of you would agree, when someone is mad, more of the truth comes out about how they feel. One should always watch their temper. Am I guilty of losing my temper once or twice in life? Absolutely. I am just like everybody else. There's always something that triggers it, and you say stuff you shouldn't. And a mother is probably feeling that. A Virginia woman, she's 42 years old. Her children go to school, and they made her mad about the mask mandate. And she told them that if they made her child wear a mask, that she would come up with every single gun she owns and come to the school. It's not working out well for her right now. They take that as a threat. That's Virginia. Speaking of that, as you also saw that we posted yesterday, Philadelphia, Mississippi, there was a bomb threat made. And school started early. They have now arrested the suspect that made the threat that they were going to do something. It was a social media threat. The Philadelphia Police Department has made an arrest on that, a juvenile. We'll release more information as that comes about. I spoke to the chief yesterday, and that's where it is at this point. So glad that it was not anything more serious. And that goes back to, why do people do that? I can't tell you. Lauderdale County has seen those. Well, actually, it was more the city. We haven't seen any in the county here, but we have seen those in the Meridian School District before, where people posted that. And it goes back to a lot of it to the TikTok thing, where it was real popular. Somebody got arrested in the Hattiesburg area. They couldn't trace it to anybody here. And then I want to say at one point they did. They made a threat to Neshoba at one time, the county schools, and they couldn't pin it back. Somebody had hacked somebody's account and made it appear to look like someone else had done it, and they did not. Just horrible. People want to do these kind of things. Also, yesterday, I don't know if you've heard about this. Who remembers Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yep. Arnold was in a car crash yesterday, and he smushed a, what do you call those? A Prius. Look at this. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Nothing left of the Prius. He's got a Yukon there, and he just kind of rolled on top of it. And also bumped a Porsche as he was at it. Also, we also learned that overnight, late in the evening last night in New York City, a police officer was killed in the line of duty, and another one as clinging to life. Another police officer was able to shoot the subject who did this. And as we see what gangs have, now, of course, New York is one of these places where you can't own a gun. So how do they get guns? As we look at this, I own that exact pistol. That's a Glock. And what do they have there? A 40-round clip that goes in the bottom. That's what they were shooting at the cops with yesterday. That's New York is where that happened. Condolences to that officer's family. Nothing worse than that as we look at what happened in New York yesterday. As we also learned late yesterday, and this grabbed America, Gabby, Brian Laundrie. You remember that? They have finally admitted that he admitted in the notebook that was found there that he did kill her. Took him 3 months to come out with that information. Horrible, horrible. Now, as I mentioned when we started this, before we get to weather, let's just go ahead and talk about this. Collinsville, Mississippi. This is a hot topic in our neighborhood. I got a message on this Thursday night, and I started looking at it. And as we got into it, and I even spoke to the sheriff's department about it, is this real? As they investigated, if you'll look at all the flyers that are out, the address is wrong. You will not find this business where it says it is. Now, as we get started, let me make this comment also. I read the Facebook post. I have not spoken with the owner myself, but I have read the Facebook post that was posted about this. The owner of the building where this is was unaware, and I want to be clear about this. She was not aware of what was going on in there. And let me just read the post of the owner of the building. Just to clarify the situation in Collinsville, the building that I own was rented by my realtor company to lease to a legal business entity. Apparently, the business entity taking place now is not the intended business that was previously discussed. After becoming aware of the situation this morning, the issue is being addressed in a legal manner. This is a business I would not condone. And there's lots of talk about this. When I looked at the flyer, I dropped my phone. I'm not going to lie. Shocked me. And what is it? Now, this is next to the Dollar General is where this is in Collinsville is where I'm talking about, the blue building that was a tanning salon at one point. And again, as I read there, the owner does not condone this in any shape, form, or way. From what she was told, I understand that it was going to be a soul food restaurant, a place to come get some food. Now, as we go to Facebook, you can look this up as I have, and here's what it is. I'm not exactly sure what you call this, but you look up drip plug, all one word, printing and apparel. And then as you go down, you will find everything that's listed about this. Coming up on January the 29th would be Aquarius season, and it would be Sin Saturday night at the Top Shelf R&B Lounge coming. And as we look at this, friends, food, spirits, and in most cases it says bring your own BYOB. As we look at that, and this was game night that would have taken place. I think the date that was posted was the 18th, $5 admission to get in. And as you go down there, I think they've got some clothes. There's some other things that is now missing. That was only, here's one, and that was January 1st. And again, that's address is not correct, but I don't think anybody is happy about this in the Collinsville area. By no means. I don't think that is something that the town appreciates. They don't want something like this there. Now, what do you call this type of business? I'm not sure what you call it. I'm not sure what goes in on inside. And without knowing that, I can't call it a particular type of business. We all know what it looks like. But by definition, and I'm trying my best to word this politically correct as I do this. I have not spoke to the owners either that are running this establishment, but it does lead you to believe. And the next thing with this, as we all know, where that building sits through the woods, how close is a church? A church is right down the road, right next to the Dollar General as well. And we just, y'all know where I'm going with this. As Rachel put her thoughts of that on there. And again, I want to remind you that the owner was unaware of this. Each one of us would be shocked to find out that was going on with something that you rented through someone else. So I would think that if this was wrongly represented, that it could be a way to get out of it. I'm not sure. But we'll watch this, and we'll talk about it on Monday and tell you more about this. Yeah. I'm kind of speechless on the situation there, and I'll just be honest with you on that. So, but if you wanted to look it up, Facebook, here's what it looks like there. That's what you look for if you want to find out more about the business, and you make your own decision of what you think it might be. And why would they choose Collinsville for this type of business? The county, maybe? Most places like this will choose an area that doesn't even have like a city limits of any type. This does. That's a good question. But county is probably easier to get by. But there's bound to be some zoning. Am I right on that? The Collinsville probably has some things that you can't do as a business within there. Nightclub / yeah, and I don't know by law what the definition Lindsay Norman put there. I don't know by law how far that goes before it is actually considered that. But that's where we are on that, and we'll talk more about that on Monday as this develops. I thought we would address it because everybody is talking about it. It is the hot topic in our area without a doubt. That's what I know at this point. It's not a ton of information, but it does give you a heads up of what is going on in our community. And by far, our community is a very, very God-fearing community. And most folks don't want to see this type of, is the word sin, among our community. We'll see what happens with this. We'll watch it and we'll report back as to what's going on with that. So I'll let you know. All right, as we begin today, it is a very cold day, as I mentioned, as I'm sitting here in my short sleeve shirt, not doing a very smart move. Overnight, and we bring you the sad news that is next. Let me pull up my page here and show you what we learned. This was around 2:30 this morning is when all of this happened, and let me go down with this as we pull this up and show you this. Mile marker 157 this morning. Which is the westbound lane. If you were leaving Meridian and got on I-20 and you take the exit to go to Macon, Mississippi, there was a wreck about 2:30 this morning. A Buick struck the rear end of an 18-wheeler, and it caused the car to flip about 5 times. It ran into the back of it. Meridian Police Department was dispatched. Metro was there, an ambulance. The person was trapped in the car. As they started to remove the victim, he was deceased at the scene. We pass along condolences to the family. The name has not been released this morning as to who it was. An awful thing to hear as we wake up. We pass along condolences to the family of this person and also the person driving the rig. That would be a hard thing to deal with also. We all know where I'm going with that. It's just bad to be involved in an accident in any shape, form, or way that someone loses their life. So we think about them and pass along condolences to them. What else went on? Also, maybe you were driving down Button Gun Road in our area. You know where that is? That's usually the cutoff from 493 that takes you to Highway 39, the cut through by E.V. Harrington store, and you come out by Commercial Bank. Maybe you noticed this sitting on the side of the road for a couple of days. Well, it was there for a couple of days. The Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department run up on that, and guess what? It was a stolen vehicle that was taken from inside the city limits. So it has been recovered. The suck-up truck come and got it, and hopefully the owners will be reunited with their vehicle. Another thing that has happened in our area, maybe you saw the post, maybe you didn't, but let's make you aware of it now, of things that are going on. New South Ford, which has been plagued by, I think this is the second time this has happened at New South Ford, of vehicles being taken. Let me back up on that. There was a vehicle taken from somebody that worked there, and then a vehicle was found behind their business by someone else that was stolen. But 2 trucks were stolen from New South Ford. Have you seen them? Let's pull this up. This is a King Ranch, an F-150 truck. These are a very popular truck. This is a black truck. Beautiful truck, very expensive truck. This truck was taken, and also another truck. Let me show you this. Get you a good look at this as you're out riding around. Doesn't have a tag as it's new. Here's a Dodge that was also taken from the pre-owned lot there. Now, that's a nice truck also, Dodge Ram. This is a dually, New South tag on the back of it. As we look at this, black, no toolboxes or anything like that. And if you see these, call Crime Stoppers, call the Meridian Police Department. They will get you in contact with someone to report this if you happen to see it. That's an expensive thing that has happened. And as we look at the details on this, which was the 19th, today is the 22nd, 2 days ago, MPD was called there at New South Ford in reference to a burglary that had already occurred. And during the overnight hour, suspects made entry into the building through the back door and were able to access where they keep the keys to the truck. By now, New South Ford has moved those, I'm sure. But they broke into, we've all been in a car lot, and you see it there, the little keys of all the cars there. That's what they took and went out and picked what they wanted. That would be somebody that has been in the business before. We all know that. They were watching. They knew where things were in the business. Hopefully they'll be caught and have to pay for what they've done. That's some of the things. And as I mentioned earlier there about Philadelphia, the threat that happened earlier, we mentioned that already, went on in the Philadelphia community. And as always, if you encounter something, you see something in our area, send it to us. We want to make absolutely sure that everybody is aware of what's going on. Now, here's something where people are trying to get together and take care of things. Let me bring this up. Neighborhood Watch Meeting is going to be held February 7th. That's a couple of weeks out. It's going to be held at the First Union Baptist Church. That's at 610 38th Avenue. They're going to be there, and they welcome their first Neighborhood Watch Meeting. They're planning a meeting so that they'll be nominating and voting a committee and positions of people to watch things in their community. And if you don't have one of these in your community, maybe it's time to start one. Be ahead of the criminals. That's what we want. The only way to stop criminal activity is for us as a group to say no and do something about it. No matter where you're watching me from, make sure to do that. And I've got a bunch of accidents. This also happened yesterday on I-20. A person was going down the road and a piece of pipe had fell off a truck in front of them, and it went up underneath their car and done a bunch of damage. And a lot of times you're in the middle of a car beside you. You can't go anywhere. You have no choice but to bump over what's laying in the middle of the road. And that happened yesterday. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Thank goodness. And as always, we report, if you haven't started watching this, I post this every morning, the Lauderdale County Arrest Report. I'll get a new report on Monday morning for the activities over the weekend. But daily, we post this here at Scotty Ray's Weather, where you can see who's been arrested, what crimes happened throughout the county. And we'll be adding, before long, the city of Meridian as well, so that you'll be on top of that and get the most information that you can. We try to deliver that. And again, I can't do this without y'all. That's the way it happens. If you see something, inbox me, and then we track down and try to get all the information that we can about it so that everybody is aware of it. So thank you on that. All right, we've talked a little bit about this and a little bit of that. Boy, it's been good so far. Let's talk about what's going to be coming up with the weather now. Everybody ready to talk a little weather? I think so. Let's switch gears and go over to the weather side of things.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we welcome in today, 1937, a warm day. It was 80 degrees. 1984, we set a record on this Saturday morning of 9 degrees. Now, as we look at today, it's going to be a high of about 45 to 46 here in Meridian. As we go northwest of here through Philadelphia, as you go through Noxapater, and you make it all the way to Mississippi State through the Louisville area, about 43 is all they're going to get there. South of us, Hattiesburg, looking warm. 48. Natchez, a little cooler. 43 for that high, as well as Vicksburg, which tells you it's a little colder out here to our west. As we jump across the Bama state line, Hamilton, Alabama, 40. We'll get about 45 there. Livingston, Alabama, underneath those oak trees over at the campus there. Beautiful day there. Clanton, Alabama, 44. And Selma will reach about 46 degrees today. Now, as we look at this dangerous cold weather this morning, and this is what we've got. This is going to remain below freezing at least through noon today. So if you have got to go out, make absolutely sure that you're warm. and this year, I haven't gone much. I've been busy with this business trying to keep things going as we start it and get everything rolling. So yesterday was my only second or third time that I got to go hunting. And let me tell you, I did not wear enough clothes. Even my little buddy Heater was working overtime in the shoot house trying to keep me warm, thinking, why are my ears cold? Forgot my toboggan. Yeah, but we're looking at this. Low temperatures this morning, 15 to 20 degrees in a lot of areas. As we looked at it a moment ago, 24. We still have that wind chill of 15 right here. Let's see here. As we look at that. All right, as we go down, let's look at what's going to happen over the next few days. Next 6 to 10 day outlook. Still cool in Mississippi, but we go to Georgia and the Carolinas and Florida, they'll be colder than we are. Not over yet, normal back in Texas, and starting to see a little bit of a warming trend here. Head toward Texas. Y'all be ready for that. Now, let's look at our forecast for today. What do we have that is stirring for us today? And let's do the breakdown through the weekend of what we know so far. Today we'll have sunshine and 45. Tonight, 21. Again, let me urge you to take care of your pets. No matter what kind of pets you got, they've got feelings as well. They want to be warm. Do that. Make sure it. Bring some extra wood in. Make sure that you got plenty of gas and however it is that you keep warm there. As we check on the elderly also, by tomorrow morning as we go to church, it's going to be cold there with that 21 degrees early in the morning. Warm up your car. Tomorrow we hit a high 53 and down to 28 as you head off to work on Monday. 58 for a high on Monday also, and 40 that night. As we look at the forecast across here, a 50% chance of rain there on Tuesday. We'll watch this. I don't like to see rain in any forecast when we've got a low right there. Hopefully that'll all happen during the daytime. Again, we're a few days out on that. That will change in between now and then. We'll watch it there. As we look again to the outlook through February the 5th, what's going on? Looks like we'll have some nighttime lows in the upper 20s there and right at 30, and then we'll warm up to the 40s with highs in the mid-50s there for a little while. Winter is not over. Let me remind you, it is not over by any means on that. So be prepared. As we look to what the deer feeding times are going to do today, if you're going to be out in the woods hunting, this is almost... let's see here. Today, we got one more weekend of this. It's coming to an end. All of this. As we look at our forecast for hunting today, it's so-so. We don't even get a major time to hunt there. A second minor time is going to be a lunchtime hunt. What is the wind going to do? North, 5 to 10 miles an hour today, so you'll be there. But again, we're at the end of this, so if you're a deer hunter, make sure you're there. You'll want to be all about that. As Chet Parker said, there's a new business in Center Hill. Culpeper crawfish and seafood at the Center Hill Shell. Check them out. Chet must have walked across the street there and tried them once or twice. Some good stuff going on there. So hope you get to enjoy a little bit of that. Gail said contact your supervisor there if you're concerned about something going on with zoning laws and you're part of that. As we look at that, good morning to you. As we are chilly. I bet, Chet, you'll probably get some business on Monday from deer activity. Deer move a whole lot more during this cold weather, and they bump into your car. Drive a little bit slower, especially earlier in the morning and late in the evening. The deer travel, and Chet could probably give you a time zone of when most accidents happen with all his business through the years of deer bumping into cars. But if you accidentally have one come pounce on your hood, your door, whatever it is, go see my friend Chet Parker. Chet will certainly put your car back to the way it should be. A great guy, a great business, and they want to earn your business because they'll be there tomorrow and the day after that. Do it. Great color matching and all that good stuff there. So how's everybody's day? I hope it's well. We brought you a few headlines here. And again, think of the family that lost their loved one last night in our area in that wreck. We will certainly keep them in our prayers there. David Boswell said, nice shirt. Like that Mississippi State there. Still got one kid up there. He's going to leave there one day, we hear. I joke with him about that all the time. So that's where we are. I certainly appreciate you coming by, and I cannot think, as you see the folks that pass on this screen over here near my shirt there, those logos, they're local people. They're in our community, and they help sponsor our show. When you can do business with them, they keep us on the air, and it keeps them in business, keeps dollars locally. It's important to do that in our area there. Big thank you to each and every one of them. And we'll have some more sponsors joining us before long as well. Thank y'all so much. I'll be back with any updates that we have with the weather, incidents and wrecks and things that happen in our community, things that affect you nationwide as well. Headlines. We'll let you know first right here. Thank you for being a part of this. I really can't do it without you. Again, thanks a bunch, and we'll be back.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by